The review committee recommended that there were further surveys of the groundwater taken, and we have accepted that. The review committee made no findings as to the origin of the materials within the groundwater. They simply said that it should be studied, including further studies amongst the aquatic environment in the Balloch River. We produce two solid residues. They are both forms of gypsum. One is an iron phosphate gypsum, which has a low level of radioactivity. The other one is, we call it NUF, but it's just gypsum. Now, gypsum is the second most produced byproduct of industrial processes in Malaysia. So there are many companies in Malaysia that actually produce gypsum. All over the world there are many companies that produce gypsum. The old-fashioned way of dealing with this is to simply pump it out into a tailings dam with a lot of water. The new best practice is to put it through what we call a filter press, which squeezes a lot of that water out and creates what we call as a filter cake, which allows the material to be stored carefully. In addition to that, both the iron phosphate gypsum and the gypsum are stored in PDF-compliant facilities. What does that mean? It means that they're above ground, they're double-lined, and they have special drainage to ensure that there is, which gets caught in a bund to ensure that there is no escape into the surrounding environment. The feedstock that we use has naturally occurring radioactive material in it. It's called NORM, and the review committee report identified that actually a lot of people are quite confused with the difference between NORM and, say, for example, the radioactivity that might come from a nuclear power plant or the development of nuclear fuel or some other type of nuclear processing. The review committee's report is explicit in the fact that Lynas is a chemical factory and that this NORM is as it occurs in nature, naturally occurring radioactive material. So the material that we mine in Western Australia has a very low level radioactivity. It's measured as 6 becquerels per gram. The material that is the residue from the first stage of our processing at Lynas Malaysia has about 6 becquerels per gram. So we are surrounded by radioactivity in one way or another, and in fact our workers are exposed to significantly less radioactivity than, say, for example, a member of a commercial airline crew.